There we go. All right. Can you guys hear me okay? How about now? Are we good now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry about that. I just installed a different mic. So, anyways, yeah, I was just talking about how to make $1 million in the next 30 days, but we'll cover that at a different time. All right, everybody. So thank you guys for being here. Again, for those of you that are over on YouTube, you guys are over on Facebook, Instagram. Thank you for being here with us. I'm going to encourage you to come join us over on Zoom. We're going to pick up with where we left off. So let's go ahead and go into that direction. I got my notes ready. Let me go ahead and address any questions though first. If anybody has any questions, feel free to go ahead and jump in. Let me know what they are, and we'll go ahead and get them addressed.
So I just have a kind of question comment, Robert. Yesterday I was doing my calls,
Mm.
and with two people I was able to get through my script, but it got to nothing
Okay.
except, yeah, I mean they answered the questions and everything. Not really interested. Okay, but if you were, like, let's say, where would you move? I mean, what would be your next step? Got there, and then, well, eventually, somewhere in Orange County. Oh, are you looking for something specific? Actually, not exactly to live in, but more like a rental. Is it something like it's more of a need, or is it like a tax purpose kind of thing? Not necessarily, just, thinking about adding another property in the future. Okay, yeah. And so there was nothing.
It's okay. That's perfectly fine. There's no problem with nothing. What I want you to do, though, is change a little bit of the questioning because a lot of the questions that I notice that you ask, and I don't know if it's accurate to the way you ask them, is go away from is it, do you mind, can you, will you, because you're going to get yes or no responses. You have to
Got
ask open-ended questions. What's the benefit of making this move? What are you looking to accomplish when you get the property sold? You'll get a different response. That's the difference between getting a yes or a no, dead end, dead end, dead end, dead end, versus what's the benefit? Well, we're just looking for something bigger. Number one. Number two, as I've mentioned before, there are going to be some that you're going to get on that very first week. Some you might capture in the second week, but you kind of have to hang in there. Okay, you're going to have to go in through week after week after week after week, build that system so that it puts you in a position where, let me back up in regards to what I'm talking about, because I want to make sure the audience understands this. In that very, very first week, your competition, especially with where you're at, Beatrice, you're probably competing with 150 to 200 realtors.
a lot.
Yeah. In the second week, that 150 to 200 realtors drastically goes down to maybe about 20 to 40 realtors. That's still a lot of competition. But in that third week, there's really only about 5 to 10 realtors that you're competing with. And in that fourth week, there's maybe about four, five, six, or seven that are staying in touch and building this rhythm. And who are those agents? Those are the elite agents. And that's where I want you to be at. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that every single one is going to take 6 to 8 weeks. As I mentioned before, some will be on ready week one, week two. Some will be ready in week 20 or week 50. But you have to continue to stay in that system, get out there as quickly as you possibly can. The reason, which we're going to talk about today in the preview, the reason I wanted to get you out there as quickly as you can is because he puts you in a different position. Now, going back to you, Beatrice, your competition 150 to 200, you're just another realtor. But the moment that you put yourself in front of them, you're maybe two, three, or even five realtors that visits this for sale by owner. And that now separates you because when you pick up the phone and you call them a second, a third, or even a fourth time, you go through Mr. and Mrs. for sale by owner. Hey, this is Beatrice, the agent that stopped by your home on Saturday. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I realize I have to keep working through those
Mm.
better questions because I didn't realize that I was naturally asking those questions until I've been practicing the scripts that it's a little different.
Well, here's what I want you to do. And when you're calling, and this goes for everybody, this is a general statement. When you guys are prospecting, what I want you to do is record yourself because you're going to go back and you're going to listen to yourself and you're going to go, oh my gosh. I literally only asked three questions in the 15-minute conversation, and the three questions that I asked weren't even on script. Or it's the hesitation, the oh man, that sucked in the way that I handled it, that objection handler. Okay. So, all right, let's go to move on. Any other questions, comments before I go into my notes? Okay. And then Lizette, if you could just do me a favor, any questions that we do have, of course, over on any of the other platforms, Andrea as well, if you guys can just let me know as they come in. All right. We talked about a profile sheet. We talked about the purpose of that. Now, the profile sheet, as I mentioned, you're going to call them week after week after week after week after week. And we're always going to use the ABC method. What's the ABC method? Always be closing. Don't just take because Robert said, my analytical friends, don't just take because what Robert said, it's going to take about 6 to 8 weeks, that's what you sell yourself on. You have to be week after week after week, always be closing. Always be closing for information. Always be closing so that you can set an appointment. Always be closing for a preview. Always be closing so that you can put yourself in a position that separates yourself from everybody else, including, of course, that of your competition. Now let's talk today about preview. When do we preview? What do we do in previewing? Okay. I want you to preview as quickly as you possibly can. Now, be careful with this though, because to close for a preview is pretty easy. Okay. Now, as far as the preview is concerned, you have to determine where you're going to go to. As an example, for me in my previous market, I worked in Rancho Cucamonga, which is about 45 minutes, depending on traffic, as much as 2 hours outside of LA. And in Rancho Cucamonga, if I went 30 minutes to the east, I basically would end up in San Bernardino. Average price point was about four, five, 600,000. Okay, so 500,000 was in a sense the average. But if I went 30 minutes west, now I'm in Pasadena. And that puts me in a position that is going to be a little bit closer to 1.2 to 2 million. Big difference. But there's also a difference when it comes time to traffic. So for me, if I'm going to fight traffic and I'm going to go set an appointment and I'm going to go do a preview, I might as well make it worth in the direction that I'm wanting to go to. So you'll ultimately determine the market that you're servicing when and where goes back to focal point one, focal point two, when you're going to go preview. And I want you to go out there as quickly as you possibly can, because the quicker you get out there, the quicker, going back to Beatrice, the quicker you get the opportunity to be able to sit there and say, Lizette, hey, this is Robert, the realtor that visited you on Saturday. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's going on, Robert? Versus, I don't remember you. Who are you? You called me last week. So I want you to get out there and preview as quickly as you possibly can. Now, in the preview, in the preview, what we do, because there are going to be some times we go through, I do have an inventory of buyers. When should I stop by to take a look at the home? Should I stop by today or should I stop by tomorrow? Here's what I don't want you to do. Let's talk about this because this is a common thing. I don't want you to prepare CMAs for these people. Don't prepare CMAs. If you want to quickly waste time and not take listings with for sale by owners, prepare CMAs, go out there, drop them off. Because what do they do with the CMAs? They take a look at it, this price, this commission, expecting me to net this much money, trash. Nope, not going to list with that dude. So in the preview, when we close for them, there are going to be some times where they're going to sit there and say, hey, look, I don't need any agents coming by. I'm not looking to do any sort of interviews. I'm not hiring an agent. I'm not looking to be in a position where you're going to be presenting to me because that's not what we're going to do. When you go out and preview, what I don't want you to do, again, I'm talking about the don'ts. What I don't want you to do is go out there, prepare a CMA. I don't want you to be that cheesy realtor where you show up and you go, hey, Lizette, Robert here, just wanted to see if we can go ahead and have that conversation. What conversation? Well, I said I was going to come by and take a look at your home. Well, yeah, you could take a look at the home, but I don't know what you mean by conversation. Well, I want to share with you with what I do to sell homes. I said, Robert, we're not interviewing anybody. Don't be that cheesy realtor. Now let's talk about the do's. When you go out there and you preview the home, let them sell you the home. Lizette, hey, show me around. I'd love the opportunity to see how it's going to fit my inventory of buyers. Now, I do have here some of the basic information. I have the 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I do have the 1942 square feet, and the home was built in 1973. Show me with what you've done, though. Well, here we go. This is what we did. We painted that wall. We did all this other stuff. Great, great, great. Awesome. But what I'm going to do, remember, the sheet that we're going to take with us is going to be nothing more than the sheet that has the profile sheet along with the script. Those are going to be fill in the blanks. And in those fill in the blanks, what I want you to do is just simply use it as the purpose of the conversation. As you're going through having a conversation, Lizette's showing me around. Hey, Lizette, you mentioned you're going over to San Diego. And I know, think if I remember correctly, you said you wanted to be there by the beginning of the year. Is that correct? What would be the ideal time frame you'd like to be there? Okay, got it. Perfect. And then you said it was you, and then your boyfriend, and then your dog, and your expected child, in a sense. You go out there, you have that conversation, and now what you're going to do is, oh yeah, that's awesome. It's great with what you did here. It's great with what you did there. I love with what you got going on. Now, let me ask you, as far as your motivation to move, I know you had mentioned on a scale of 1 to 10, it was an 8. All we're doing is just simply using the script. Now, here's what I also want you to do. I want you to be prepared to present. But wait a minute, Robert, I'm confused. So don't prepare a CMA, but do prepare a CMA? No, I want you to be prepared. There's a difference. Now, I've talked about numerous times in the past to have a car sales kit. What's a car sales kit? Where you're going to have a purchase contract, you're going to have a listing contract, you're going to have a buyer representation, you're going to have all of these things that you're going to have printed and at the ready. But Robert, I have an iPad, I have a phone, I have a computer, I can do all this stuff. I get it, I understand. However, technology sometimes fails us. And we've been there, we've done that. Oh my gosh, I can't connect. Oh my gosh, my computer's about to die. Oh my gosh, all these things. So be prepared from that direction. Now, in that, before you leave, I wrap it up, I go through, I take a look at the home. I'm going to sit there and say, Lizette, I promise you I wasn't going to do any sort of presentation, but I know I can be of some help to you and your family. Okay. I'd love the opportunity, when the opportunity arises, to be able to share with you with what I do to sell homes. I haven't had a chance to share with you. Are you familiar with the techniques that I use? No, Robert, like I said, I'm not looking to interview agents. I respect that. I totally get with where you're coming from, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask. Well, tell me, what is it that you do? Well, I just need about 20 to 30 minutes. We can go ahead and do this now, or would you prefer for me to come back later today, like at 5 o'clock? And if they sit there and say, nope, not interested, no problem. I'm not going to push. I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to suggest. And out of 10 times that I ask, there's going to be 2, 3, or 4 times that they'll sit there and say, well, what is it that you're doing? What is it that you do? Okay. So in that, there's a lot more depth. We got next week. I want to be able to make sure that I address any questions because there was a lot that I was shared with you guys today. Questions, comments, concerns, any further thoughts? We're good? All right. So hopefully I didn't lose too many people in regards to with what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to understand it a little better. Sorry.
It's okay. Where did you get lost, or what is it that I could clarify, or for that matter, maybe just repeat everything?
It just felt a little fast for me, but I'm trying to understand because you said go prepared, but don't prepare the CMA, but try to close. It's like I'm trying to picture it.
Sure, absolutely. And I appreciate you standing out because there are going to be some times where I'm a little too fast. So that we're all on the same page. I don't want you going through, I talk about 2 doors a day will keep the creditors away. You go out and you knock on these doors and you basically try to, create that connection is with what we're trying to do. Or you set an appointment, okay? What I don't want you to do is, okay, I'm going to go knock on door A, I'm going to go knock on door B, and I'm also going to knock on door C. Let me prepare some CMAs for all of these because I already know what you guys do. It's not 5 minutes. It's not 10 minutes. It's 30 to 45 minutes. You do three of these, you're now invested 90 minutes in this. You go knock on three doors and nobody opens. And what do the realtors do? Leave it at the doorstep. I don't want you to do that. But what I do want you to do is I do want you to be in a position when you do preview or knock on doors, you already have a listing packet ready. You already have and it's not specific to that home, it's just a general packet. There's also a buyer's contract. There's also a buyer's representation. You have those printed, ready, and putting them in a folder, and you have it as an emergency kit right next to your other emergency kit. Okay. Now, when you go out there and you preview or you knock on the doors, you're going to have your equipment ideally with you. Okay. Hopefully, you don't find yourself in a position where your computer's not charged, your phone's not working, so on and so forth. You can quickly go into presentation mode, at least you should, okay? Because in that, you're going to have your again, your iPad, your phone, your computer. You're going to be, in a sense, at the ready. And you can pull up your comps in person. Or if you feel like you need to be that person that gets a little bit better prepared, you just simply, before you leave the door on the preview, you're just going to say, what I can do is I'd love the opportunity to share with you with what I do to get homes sold. I can come back today at 5 o'clock, or would you rather us meet tomorrow at 5 o'clock? Okay. So hopefully that helps a little bit better. All right. So
Yes.
perfect. All right, so let's get some role play in. I want to make sure that we do get some participation. That's the purpose of with what we are doing here. Again, for those of you that are joining us over on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, thank you for being here. This is the part where being on Zoom helps a little bit because we get the opportunity to role play. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Who wants to be that first person?
Me.
All right, let's go.
Beatrice.
Take advantage. Let's do it.
Okay. Ring ring.
Hello,
Hi, this is Beatrice. I'm your local realtor with CalFin, and I was calling about the home for sale. Is this the owner?
it is. How can I help you?
I help a lot of FSBOs in the area, and I was wondering, when you sell this home, where are you planning on going next?
We're looking to just stay in the area.
Well, that's great. How long have you been? How soon do you want to be there?
No, no rush. We just want to get there, preferably sooner rather than later.
Okay. And how long have you been in the area?
Oh, we've been here forever. I mean, we've been here most of our lives. Pretty much, I went to middle school. My wife's been here since elementary. So, and we really don't want to leave. We just want to get something that's a little bit more accommodating for the family.
Well, that's exciting. Absolutely. Okay. So, how would you rate your motivation on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, definitely a 10. I mean, we definitely are going to be making the move, no doubt.
Okay. So, I see that you've been there a long time. So, have you raised a whole family there? Have you just, seen neighbors come and go?
Re-ask that question. Do you see how you're going into a yes or no?
Yes. Dang it.
It's okay.
Ah.
Go ahead. It's what
Okay.
we're doing. That's the purpose of it. Re-ask the same question, though.
Okay. Yes. So, you must have raised a whole family. Am I right?
Now, you mentioned to me, as far as the family is concerned, how many people are in the family?
Ah, you mentioned to me your family. How many people are in your family?
Well, we do have our two kids that have just moved on, and then it's just basically my wife, myself, and our dog. So that's pretty much the last people that are left here.
Oh, I see. Okay, so now you're looking to downsize?
Get it away, yes or no? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. That's the purpose of what we're catching.
Okay,
So what's the benefit of making this
got
downsizing?
it. I was just gonna say that right now. So what's the benefit of downsizing?
Well, this has just been way too much home for us. It's just been way too much home for us, a lot of maintenance. I mean, it's served its purpose and it's just time to go and start our new chapter.
Well, that's awesome. How are you currently marketing your home?
There we go. Good. Um, blah, 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 blah. Let's
Yeah,
start.
so I see where I got stuck again.
Okay. So in that, what I want you to do, Beatrice, in this particular case, I want you, as well as everybody else, I want you to go through, write down who, what, when, where, why, how, and the only exception is going to be the if. I want you to write down two questions. on motivation. To who's, to what's, to when's, to where's, to why's, to how's, and to ifs. And what you're going to do is you're going to have it posted up. And you're going to go through, you're going to be practicing exactly what it is that we're doing. You're on the phone, you're calling a for sale by owner. How soon do you want to be there? 3 months. That's awesome. Fantastic. How would you reach your motivation to move on a scale of 1 to 10? Oh, 8. Awesome. That's great. Now, who in your family is most excited about making this move? Boom. Oh, yeah, your wife. That's exciting. What is she most looking forward to in making her move and your move and your guys' move? And that's what we do. We create that little cheat sheet and we have it at the ready. That way we don't have to sit there and think about with what is going to be that next. Okay.
It's very helpful what you just said, Robert, because I think it's adding those additional transitional questions
Mhm.
to try to stay on the no, yes or no kind of answers. That was a great idea. So I love it.
Yeah, for my fishermen's, which I'm sure there's not too many, but of my fishermen's, it's kind of like, for example, when you catch that big fish, or you hook the big fish, I should say. When you hook that big fish, the last thing you want to do is just resistance, 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 because what ends up happening? Boom, the line ends up snapping, and the fish is gone. So sometimes you have to let go a little bit, get that fish tired, and then reel it back in, and then let it go, and then reel it back in. And what am I talking about? The letting it go? That's the secondary questions that I'm referring to: who, what, when, where, why, how, and if. Lizette, any other insights that maybe I'm missing on this?
Yeah, Beatrice, that's a very common thing for me too, is just catching ourselves on the yes or no. Because sometimes even just going back to your fishing thing, but on the other side of the fishing, we're actually fishing for an answer, whereas, when you ask it open-ended, you're getting them to talk, you're getting them to open up to you. And it gets a lot easier to find the content of that conversation. So just catching yourself and just getting, better and better, but at least you're aware of it, that way you can start improving on it.
Yeah, for sure.
But your
Absolutely.
tone sounds very natural. It sounds very friendly, and very authoritative. So so I think it sounds great. But that is one thing that I have to also improve on myself as well.
Absolutely. I love that feedback. Great job. So the other thing too, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a relationship tip. This is the part where I am a life coach, which I'm not. I'm just kidding. But in order to not be in this frictional state in any sort of relationship, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, business relationship, it's not this constant, shoving it down their throat, being in a position where it's, proving your point. Sometimes you just kind of have to back off a little bit. And the backing off of a little bit is going to be going in the direction of what's important for them. Okay, that's definitely going to be something I'm going to encourage you guys to do. So we do have time for another role play. Who wants to be that next person to go? Come on. It's the whole purpose of this. Now we're good. Let's go ahead and wrap it up then. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so let's do this. Let me get Lizette. Actually, Lizette, let's role play here real quick.
Sorry, I had to move everything off my screen here.
All right, so here we
Okay.
go. So we're gonna go straight from the top. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this the owner for the property here on Banana Street?
It is.
Ah, perfect. I was calling about the home for sale. I help a lot of for sale by owners in the area. By the way, Beatrice, you said FSBOs. If anything, we say for sale by owners. Okay, so versus FSBOs because they don't know that they're FSBOs. And the reason I was calling is when you sell this home, I'm curious, where are you guys going to be moving to next?
Well, this home, it's a rental of ours, so we're just planning to buy another property with it.
Okay, got it. Oh, perfect. All right. And how soon are you wanting to get this property sold so that you can move the monies over to another place?
Well, we're planning to move it pretty fast. At the end of the year is moving, so just so we can get everything with our taxes done.
Oh, perfect. Now I do see here it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,500 square foot home. When you move the monies from this home, are you looking for another single family residence or are you looking for multifamily?
Yeah, we're actually looking into both.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so basically it sounds like you're just looking for the best cash flow opportunity.
Right.
Are you guys going to be doing a 1031 exchange, or are you guys just simply going to transfer the money over without the 1031 exchange?
Yeah, probably a 1031.
Ah, perfect. Okay. Have you spoken to any 1031 companies in regards to that?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
This would be my first time doing it.
Very, very good. Well, the reason I'm asking is I work with a great company. I'd love the opportunity to share their information. It's ABC 1031 Exchange Company. I'll get that sent over to you. But let me ask you this question. How would you rate your motivation to move on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, I'd say we want to get it sold fast,
Okay.
but it's also not the end of the world if we don't get it sold by the end of the year. So we'd like to move it by maybe like a 9.
Okay, got it. So what would be the benefit of getting this money, the money's transferred from this place over to another place?
Well, then I'd be able to buy a new property. This one's a little older, so just trying to, have a newer property.
Okay. So would it be safe to say that you're looking in regards to something along the line of less maintenance?
Right.
Ah, very good. Okay. So now I noticed you said us. Is this a business partner or is this your significant other?
It's a significant other, yeah.
Very good. And how does your significant other feel about the move?
Well, he's all for it. He's done this a few times, but this would be my first time.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, we're good. Do you have somebody that's interested?
I really honestly don't know. I do have an inventory of buyers that are looking for properties here in the area. My job is to get to know all of the properties, not just the ones that are in the MLS, but also the ones that are off market like yours. What I'd like the opportunity to do is come take a look to see if it does fit my inventory of buyers. Is it something that I should stop by today to take a look at, or would you prefer me to stop by tomorrow to take a look at it?
Well, actually, this weekend we're having it open, so you could
Okay.
probably stop by then.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely take a look at it over the week. By the way, I didn't get your name.
Lisette,
Lisette, pleasure again. My name is Robert Villanueva. So as far as this weekend is concerned, are you guys going to have it open on Saturday and or on Sunday?
both days.
Okay, perfect. So on both days. And then what time should I stop by?
We'll be there pretty much from 12 to 3, but I mean, it's vacant, so right now it's anytime.
Okay, got it. But the house will be open 12 to 3. You guys will both be there in that window?
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Yes.
very good. Okay, so share with me a little bit. How are you guys currently marketing the home? Then I jump right back onto the script. Okay. Thanks, Lizette. I really appreciate that. So, any questions, any comments, any concerns, any observations? All right. So I'm going to give you guys a gift. Here's what I'm going to do. Okay. How many of you guys want a gift from Robert, MIT, and share with you guys some of the things that is going to help you get more for sale by owners?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So here's what I want you guys to do. What I want you to do is I want you to send me a DM. You're going to send me a DM. You're going to go to my Instagram and send me a DM. And then all you want to do is all you're going to do is just simply send me a DM and say, Robert, hey, send me that gift. That's it. And the gift that I'm going to send you is going to be the profile sheet. This profile sheet I've used for 20 plus years and it continues to work. I still use it with all of my coaching clients. So just send me a DM on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you got to follow me there. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. I want to take a minute to, again, say thank you guys. We are going to be on next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that's it. We're done for the year. We're going to be done with for sale by owners, at least for the time being. So I'm going to encourage you all to make sure you join Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard. That is, of course, 10:30 Eastern. So I will see you guys all again. Thank you so much for being here. Let's have a powerful, productive day. Go take a listing or 5, and I'll see you guys then. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Robert.